Well, hey, here in what is now probably almost as warm as LA, where Chairman Lassi Nopinen is, we are actually bracing ourselves here in southern Sweden for a bit of water shortage that is likely to occur. But it tends to not be as bad as it is in California at some time. And since we also have some water companies as investments, as you may know, Lassi is there talking to some people about exactly that. So over to you, Lassi, at LA Cleantech Incubator.
Thank you, Bigge. Today we are here at Los Angeles Cleantech Incubator with the two water specialists. We have Sonar Luthra, the founder of Water Cannery, and Ayushi Jain, who is the head of the water cluster here at LACI. We're going to focus on water issues today, and my first question goes to Sonar, which is, we have all heard about the drought here in Southern California, but can you elaborate a little bit? What are the water issues facing California today?
Yeah, that's a great question. California is naturally a very dry environment. It's a place that for thousands of years has actually slowly been turning into a desert. And when it was developed, we over the past 150 years created a lot of water infrastructure to transport water from places where it exists to places where it doesn't. But what I think we did not know enough about when we planned that infrastructure is really how to plan for things like climate change, how to plan for things like extended droughts. And so that naturally lends itself to a lot of challenges in the state in terms of how we prioritize between the needs of agriculture, the needs of cities and municipal drinking water, and also the type of water that we're using in industry. The issue that we are focused on at Water Cannery is effectively that, as water becomes more scarce, our ability to dilute pollutants down to safe levels gets compromised. And what that effectively means is that, all of the groundwater throughout the Central Valley and most of the drier regions of the state is getting increasingly toxic. So our need to test that water, our need to monitor for it is exploding. And that, I think, is actually one of the most important problems that we should be dealing with right now.
Absolutely. Very interesting. Ayushi, can you tell us in which ways is Lassi Incubator creating value in the water space?
Of course. So LACI, or Los Angeles Cleantech Incubator, we've been around for 5 years now. We are an economic development initiative out of the mayor's office. In the 5 years, we have helped about 64 companies. We've raised about $118 million, and we've created about 1,200 jobs. And we do this through our stakeholder networks. That's our biggest strength, but also through this 60,000 square foot innovation campus that you're at.
Campus is great. I've been here many times, and I've also heard this number, 12,000 jobs. It's an impressive number, and I think a lot of the politicians all over the world should be, looking into this. How has that happened?
I just correct. I think both of us is 1,200 jobs.
Well, that's good enough. That's good enough. Yes. Anyway, my follow-on question would be to you: that which technology areas specifically do you think are exciting at the moment in the water space here in California?
So like Sonar talked about water quality, but the biggest problem that we will see where investments will go is water infrastructure. It's been predicted that in the next 25 to 30 years, we'll be investing about $1 trillion in infrastructure just to counter the water pollution issues that will come up. We will see water data will be another topic that will be invested into.
This is really interesting. I think we've come across some companies in the Nordic region doing just those things. Sonar, what are the challenges that are typical or specific for operating in the water space here in California? And maybe keeping in mind that, do you think foreign companies from the Nordic area could have possibilities to establish themselves here and take a piece of this market?
I think the opportunities to work in water in California are boundless. But I think that the amount of time it can take to get projects off the ground is definitely longer than is often healthy for young companies. If you're, working on, for instance, an infrastructure project that can take 5 to 10 years, that is something that naturally lends itself to there only being a few players in a given space. But that is something I think is a place like LACI is very good at providing the support and providing the network necessary to help young companies navigate those issues. Now, as far as bringing companies here, I think we're all starting to witness, and we have been for a while, the consequences of climate change are going to be creating major water quality issues, major issues with water storage, major issues with volatile weather, and in each of these cases, we don't actually have, in spite of what is often reported, we don't have the technologies to really manage these problems and to really create a society that's resilient to them right now. And so I think that any company that is developing a new technology for dealing with these emerging threats has a very good chance of success. And I think that if I were an investor, I would really be looking at those new technologies, not so much ones that frankly are upgrading a lot of solutions that have already existed.
Thank you, Sonar. Thank you, Ayushi. We have, during the last year, gotten a lot of advice and insights from Los Angeles Cleantech Incubator, and this is a good example, the depth of knowledge that is available here. And here you have it, Bikke. Back to you. Thank you.